Everybody. What is this? This is Tuesday, 4:30 p.m. here in Houston, Texas, and I want to talk to you about the Russ Taff movie. It's coming out. They sent me a pre-release, and I'm missing my comments. There they go. I was watching it. I was about 17 minutes into it, stopped everything, had to call Tori Taff, and had a conversation with her about the movie. Y'all, it's incredible. You've got to see it when it comes out. It comes out October 30th. Go to russtaffmovie.com for more information. Here's our conversation from the Lazy Boy. Rick Altizer sent me the new Russ Taff movie, I Still Believe. Now, Tori,
Yes.
I'm about 17 minutes into it, and I had to call you because at first I thought, oh gosh, is this going to just be one I love you testimonial Russ Taff after another?
Have you met me?
Yeah. And I love the prayer at the beginning that you pray. And, but and then all of a sudden I'm into it, especially we meet Russ's dad.
Isn't that amazing that we found that footage? We looked so long to get that footage.
Where did you find it?
All right, years ago when Russ had the deal with Warner Brothers, remember TNN, the
Oh, yeah.
station TNN? Okay, so they had a show called like Pathway to Stardom or something, and they sent a camera crew. Maddie Rose was 3 years old. They sent a camera crew out to Farmersville, California, and Maddie Rose and I went with Russ, and they filmed um, Russ's dad. They filmed Russ and his brothers singing in the church.
I haven't
And
got that far yet.
well, that's not in there. The only thing I think they used of it is the footage of his dad. But I remembered in my head what they had done, but I couldn't find it to save my life. I scoured the internet, couldn't find it. Finally, we gave up. We were contacting Cracker Barrel was actually the ones who had produced that.
Uh huh.
We went through everything we could think of, finally gave up, and then Rick went to Mama June's, who's in the movie, the family, Russ's family of choice, and mentioned it to June, and June had it. So that's how his dad and his dad's preaching ended up in the film. It's amazing.
Now, and the preaching was also recorded at that same time?
No, that was recorded on an audio tape. That was a cassette tape that we had from probably the,
Do
I
you
don't know,
know
mid 80s.
everything I have heard about Russ's dad from Russ over the years? Oh my gosh. It's got to be true.
I tell you what, the our big concern afterwards was you don't have time in a hour and 50-minute movie to present multi-dimensional people.
Hmm.
And what we were both of us concerned about is that it doesn't just show his parents as cartoon character bad
Right,
guy.
right, right. And it hasn't so far. Now
Well, they weren't.
I'm just 17 minutes into it, but let
Okay,
me
well
just
you
tell
got
everybody watching this. October 30th,
yes.
go, run, don't walk. The first 7 minutes, you'll think, oh gosh, is Bart Millard just going to sit and talk about how much he loves Russ Taff? And then all of a sudden it takes a turn, and oh gosh, I just had to call you. Okay, now I haven't gotten this, the movie may explain this to me, but did it tell your side? You know, you lived with a drunk for how long?
Off and on for gosh, I guess he was first diagnosed in 19 oh gosh, first 10 years of our marriage. He was diagnosed around the 10-year mark, which would have made it about mid 80s.
Well, and thankfully he was never a mean drunk, right?
No, and what no, I mean, he was a jerk, but I
Yeah.
mean, he was never remotely physically violent of anything like that.
And you would not have stayed had he been
No,
physically
that wouldn't have
violent.
been an option. We wouldn't have had the option
You're
to be able
shaking
to
your camera.
recover. Sorry, I was nodding.
Okay.
Um, train.
Hey, bell
So,
buckle.
yeah. Isn't that a good noise? I
Oh,
like that
isn't
sound.
that wonderful?
I know, it's very evocative.
So I mean, so any woman listening whose husband is hurting her, beating her, your suggestion would be Get out.
No, you have to take care of your safety and or your children's safety first and foremost,
Right.
regardless of what's going to happen in the marriage. You have to be safe. That thankfully was never an issue in our marriage. What's hard to understand, and they do talk about it in the film, is that for the first, gosh, 20 years maybe, um, Russ's drinking was all secret and hidden. He learned how to hide literally at his father's knee.
Yeah.
So, after he was diagnosed and went to treatment, then there would be long periods of sobriety. I mean, like 10 years.
Mm.
And then what usually prefaced a relapse was a death of his father, a death of his younger brother, Earl, that he had tried to protect all those years. And then finally, the death of his mother. And when his mom died, there was nobody left to protect, and you don't want to have all those memories come flooding in because you don't want to hate two little old people living in Farmersville, California. That wasn't in his heart. So he stuffed those memories down. When his mom died, there wasn't anybody left to protect, and those memories came roaring out. And that was his final relapse. And that was when the first time I had ever seen him actively actually and actively seen him impaired. Before that, he would just be missing. He would be gone. He would be. It was all hidden and secret, which is plenty crazy making all by itself.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I can't wait to finish the rest of the movie. Is there anything I need to look for now? I've already seen myself, and that was exciting.
That's good.
That kept
That
me
was pretty much the highlight.
that kept me watching.
Yeah, that'll keep you watching. Well, then I'll tell you. Oh yeah, you're way in it. You have to keep watching.
Oh, okay.
You're all over it.
My
You'll see
main part comes at the end.
exactly right at the end. I do appreciate it, Mark. You know, this is
I noticed that I'm the first one in the movie that gets to say Russ is a drunk.
oh, see?
Did you
We
notice
saved that.
that?
We
Did you?
saved well, everybody else was too nice
No,
to.
it's like Bart Millard. Oh my gosh, he was sitting on the front row. No, listen, I see Bart Millard. He's sitting on the front row. First time I saw him in person, he was my hero. Sitting by Bill Gaither, I was at a Gaither event singing "I Can Only Imagine," and oh my gosh, I was there. He was the fourth in the Godhead. Oh my gosh, I got on one knee and invited Russ into my heart that night. And
Okay, you
then
may
I
be
come along and
paraphrasing.
say, "I love Russ. He's a drunk."
Well, see, that's your role in life, Mark. You are the calm voice of reason and truth.
I know, but it's all about the editing.
That's it. Well, let me tell you. Well, you know what Rick, the director, said.
I love
He,
Rick.
you know what? I do too. I think I scare Rick a little. I love Rick. He handled this with such incredible
Well,
grace, and
he's a little on the right side of everything. You know,
he
he
is. And
comes
I'm
from
a
that
little.
right and
And
leaning.
I'm a little.
Yeah, you're way over here,
Well,
but
we
you both love Jesus, which
we
gets you
do, and I respect and trust him, which you have to
right.
be to turn your life over to somebody. He said from the beginning, this really is not just a movie about Russ, and this isn't just a love story about Russ and Tori. He said, I really have no interest, this is a direct quote, I have no interest in making a film in which we sit around for an hour saying, boy, that Russ, he can sing, can he?
Oh yeah, well, how boring would that be?
So he got that off, he got that over with all in the first
And
17 minutes.
everybody, and Lord, you know what? I was that those you see a lot of footage of the years when I first discovered, along with everyone else, Russ Taff, and his voice. And you know, it's still amazing with age. But listen,
Still
back
ridiculous.
still
But I know
ridiculous.
I
But
call it a struck by lightning talent. It's like you
it
just
it's
there's no
like he's
accounting for
been
that.
gargling razor blades, and it's all on pitch, and it's wide open, and it's big. When he goes, "Praise the Lord!" Oh
I
my
know.
gosh!
I know. It really is remarkable instrument, and it's remarkable that it's been preserved lo these many years with all of the abuse it took, frankly.
And it could not have been given to a better steward. You know why I say that?
Why?
Because his pain, his scars, his story is hanging on every note. And he runs the lyrics through his brain, and it is his story. And I personally know him,
Yeah, you
and
do.
and I love the same Jesus he does. And he is so madly in love with Jesus. And like he says in the already this, I'm only 17 minutes into the
Yeah.
movie, and he's already said, "Without Jesus and Tori, I'd be dead." And
It
it's the truth
the thing is about the whole movie after you've seen it, and I've seen it a couple times now, is that it does come out. There's a point in which, even though it's pretty gritty and pretty real, very real, there's a point in which Russ and I are really not the point, and it really kind of is about the redemption business.
isn't that
It's
great?
about taking what happened and turning it into something else. What does that pastor say? The great alchemist is, and that's what happened. And it's not all wrapped up with a pretty bow. Um, he wrestled with angels. He wrestled with devils. He came out with a limp, but we came out together and with a
Yeah,
family. Every time he looks at the movie, all he sees is every line on his face. And and I look at that face and think, yeah, you earned every one of them. And Rick, the director, looks at it and says, I love every one of them
yeah,
because that's what tells the story.
that's the character. Yeah, and like I said and believe, you don't help anybody by showing your trophies. You help everybody by showing your scars. And
Mark, it's so crazy already just based on the trailer that's out there. I'm getting Russ's Facebook page. We are getting flooded. I can't even tell you. It'll be like, hey, I saw you with the Imperials and so and 19 so and so, loved you, loved your voice, and then tucked in there somewhere will be, I'm struggling with the same things you are. I don't know what to do. And then some of them will be two lines that say, I'm stuck. I'm in the same place. I'm in hell. And then you get it's across the board. It's unbelievable to me. And I guess when you're this far into sobriety and this far away from the active addiction, it's not this is not a new story for those of us who have loved Russ. This is not a new story for you. You've known what's
And you
gone on.
know what? It's not an. Everybody knows somebody probably, unless you live in a little cult like I grew up in. It wasn't a cult. Well, really, any religious organization is technically, I guess, defined.
And it's there. It's just not talked
Well,
about.
we didn't have. I never knew anybody who drank
No.
growing up because we just didn't do that. But now I know people. A guy called me this morning, a friend
Yeah.
who never calls, but he said, "Man, I'm trying to stop drinking, and I wanted to talk to you." And I just and so I'm taking him to the movie.
Oh, that's what I'm hoping will happen really. And I'm not trying to Jesus juke you on this and try to turn this into this isn't
I don't even
we're not
understand
going
what
to
that means.
a Jesus juke is when you take a conversation and immediately throw in a scripture to make yourself sound holy.
Oh,
And so you'll take an otherwise normal conversation and
uh,
so but here's the reality. The reality is all we can do is tell the truth. And this is our story and this is our truth. And so if it
and
doesn't
Jesus is all over it. How you going to help but juke him
that it's his fingerprints are everywhere. I told Russ it
everywhere?
feels like that there was a trail of human breadcrumbs that he kept putting out in front of us, and just when he'd lead us to the next one and he'd lead us to the next person and the next therapist and the next friend and the next treatment center, but all along we didn't have a poof you're fixed kind of story. We didn't have a one good prayer and it was all undone.
Okay, is
uh,
it all good now?
yeah, it's good. We have the normal level of dysfunction
Yeah.
just like everybody else. No, you know what, here's what's good. We love each other. We love our family. We're foxhole buddies at this point, man.
Yeah.
We've been through it together. There's nobody in the world I can cut my eyes at some certain thing, and he'll know exactly what I'm talking about, and I'll know exactly what he knows.
Yes.
That's the
I mean,
that's
can
the
you imagine now starting over with someone new and having to learn all that history now at this age? You've got all
No,
this history that is more
no.
valuable than any. I never understood why a man would trade in a wife he's had for 40 years for some 30-year-old who doesn't even remember when the space shuttle blew up.
Well, you know what I heard? The answer to that is why they go for younger people. It's like shorter stories.
Oh,
There you are.
maybe.
Yeah, but
Well,
I like the shared ones.
the best thing about your life right now is you can walk to the Bell Buckle Cafe. Is that what
That
it's?
is the absolute best part. Sobriety, schmobriety. We can walk to the Bell Buckle Cafe.
So that is the interview I just did. What I did, I just got on FaceTime. And excuse me, I got on FaceTime. How y'all like my Weenie Stand t-shirt? That is the best hot dog in Lynchburg, Virginia, or it used to be. The Weenie Stand. Delicious. I got on Facebook and just thought I'm gonna call, see if I can get a hold of Tori, because I never do get a good signal from her when I am trying to Skype there. But it worked out good today, so I just said, hey, let's just talk. And there you have it. From the Lazy Boy on a Tuesday. You know where I'll be tonight at 6:30 Central Time? I'll be sitting in this Lazy Boy watching that TV. And I'm going to be watching from Reba Rambo McGuire's homepage. And thank you all for coming in here. There's 100 of you watching right now. Zenny, hi Tori here's Zenny. Hi Zenny Cole. Let me take that down. Russ Taff movie. Oh my God, I thought the title said, what do you think it said? Hold on. I thought the title said Lady Boy, not Lazy Boy. Hi Kaylee Widener. I never got to see my husband reach sobriety. Alcohol kill. Oh, I'm so sorry, Roseanne. It'll get you if you have that propensity towards that disease, alcoholism. Hello, Rachel McMeekin. Hi, Marie Jans, Pam, all of you tuning in on this Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. I'll be watching Reba and Donnie and all the gang over there at the river gathering. Well, I hope you have a blessed day. You know what? I'm going to have to learn how to sit right in my Lazy Boy if I'm going to sit here, because my man boobs. That's another thing about getting into your 60s. These man boobs start growing. Don't get into your 60s if you can help it. No, you better get into them. Well, you get into them or you don't. Either way, you win if you know the Lord, because, when we leave here, we're going to heaven. Love you guys. Hello, Wesley. Mark, do you remember Jonathan Pierce? Yes, of course I do. He was the tenor in the Gaither Vocal Band for a moment. And he's a big-time famous interior decorator now. Was on TV, HGTV. Hello, Mary Warner. Love your blue walls. Thank you, Karen. Thank you. Hello, Roseanne Peterson. Come to Boise, Idaho. I'll buy you Cracker Barrel. Oh. Wow, thanks. That makes me really want to go to Idaho. I love Cracker Barrel, and I'm sure I'd love to have dinner with you and all, but let's see. Hello, cheers to healing. Hello. Anyway, love you guys, and watch the river tonight. And next Monday night, I'll be on Mondays with Mark, Monday night, 7 p.m. Central. Don't miss it, right here on YouTube, on this channel. Make sure you've subscribed right over here, the subscribe button, and then the little bell next to it. It's supposed to let you know when we go live, like I did today. And what else? Don't forget the cruise. My cruise is coming up. Have you got your cabin yet for Mark Lowry's Spring Fling cruise with the Martins, the Ball brothers, Stan Whitmire, and Taranda Green? I love her. Now this would be good if I could somehow figure out a way to get the camera up here. That way it's not up under my chins. Anyway, we're going to have fun on the Spring Fling cruise. And just call 844-881-8844 for more information, or go to marklowrycruise.com. What else can I tell y'all? Well, you never know. I might go live again from the Lazy Boy any moment. See, with Mondays with Mark, I have to do it every Monday at 7 p.m. until I get really, 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 really bored with that schedule and quit. And but this from the Lazy Boy could actually happen anytime, anywhere. Your chins are lovely. Thank you, Karen Calabrese. You got my bobblehead, Bridget? Hey, anybody want a bobblehead? And everybody needs a bobblehead. Look at that. Put that on your dashboard and that head will just shake and judge you while you speed. Have you put it on your dashboard, Bridget? Oh, that's funny. I love the old bobblehead. You can get one for $8 at marklowry.com. Where's that? Right there. marklowry.com/store. $8. Melissa says the Lazy Boy is awesome. Do you have a Lazy Boy, Melissa? They are nice. I'm sorry. I'm at that age. Wait, I'm trying to get this straight. But they get hot when they sit on your lap. Do y'all know of a laptop kind of a thing that would hold the laptop up here where it would not be on my lap and burning my legs? And also wouldn't be up under my chins, because you hate that shot. You just don't want to have on national internet. But up here, see how much younger I look? I look 59 up here. I look 60 down here. Anyway, if you know of one, hey, put it in the comments below. Oh my goodness, Melissa Poole says she has 2 bobbleheads. What are you doing with 2 bobbleheads? Take pictures of where you have them and put them in the comments below so I can see. Howdy, Kim Dalton. Anyway, if you want a bobblehead, there you go. Go to marklowry.com/store. What else? Use a USB camera on a tripod. Well, that's what I do in my Mark Lowry studio / bedroom / office where I shoot Mondays with Mark. But when I am out here, I don't want to have a camera. I'm using the camera on the laptop and the microphone there just because it's off the cuff. It's whenever I think about doing it. Like literally, I just 10, 15, 20 minutes ago decided to call or FaceTime Tori Taff. Basically, whoever answers a FaceTime will be on from the Lazy Boy. I guess that's the name of my new show, which could happen at any time. Just make sure you hit the bell over there. I think she means 2 lazy boys. Oh, I bet you're right. I have 2 also. One over there, one here. And then I have 2 couches that each end of them has a lazy boy. There are 2, 4, 6 lazy boys in this living room, Donna. That's what you do when you hit 60. Put a tall stool or table in front of you. Well, then I can't reach the screen. Surely, Kaylee, there is a stand that would go on each side of my leg, lift it up, where I could adjust it. I think I've seen one actually on Facebook or somewhere, and it'll lift it up high where I can see y'all, and I can still type. And maybe there isn't. Thank you. Cheers to healing. What a great name you have. Why don't people just put their name in the title, like Cheers to Healing? If your mother named you Cheers and your last name is kind of French, to healing, well then okay. Okay, y'all, I gotta go. Love you. Don't miss from the Lazy Boy. It could happen any moment.